Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay, and today we're going to sort of wrap up a few news stories. But I want to talk about first why Worlds is likely to be cancelled, and by the time you watch this, may have already been cancelled. And well, we all know the reason why, but why I think it's actually going to happen. And then we're going to have a look at some leaks from Gamma, which is like a trade show, and obviously there's been a picture showing up of Clan Ren and Inferno Squad, so we're just sort of going to wrap up all three of those combined in one. And before I start, I do want to make it pretty damn clear that people suffering from coronavirus and people dying is obviously considerably more important than people pushing plastic soldiers around on a table, rolling dice and being like, I am the victor. We obviously need to put that in perspective. I fully understand if these events do get cancelled and the virus is the reason why, that is acceptable. I don't think anybody should be really, truly mad about that, right? Secondly, they can't just play this on Tabletop Simulator because FFG can't even acknowledge that exists. So let's have a look at what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, the Star Wars Legion World Championship is scheduled to be hosted at Adepticon, which is in Illinois, in March 26th would be the start, to the 29th, along with the Armada and the Imperial Assault Championship. That's the Star Wars Legion Worlds. And Adepticon, this is the website for Adepticon. There's nothing really on here, apart from when you scroll down to the news, it talks about the current news. And then they've had this post which basically says, we're aware of the travel ban, and I'll get onto that in a moment, and State of Illinois might even be limiting large gatherings, and they're keeping an eye on the feedback and watching it, and they'll keep everybody updated, which to me is essentially soft confirmation that they might cancel it, right? I think everybody knows they might cancel it. I think it's sort of likely that they will. If I was going to speculate, I would guess that it is because they probably need their hands to be forced, as in they can't just openly choose to cancel it, because they'll want to be able to recap, the venue booking, any insurance, etc. They'll need it to actually be declared like an emergency or like a pandemic, you know what I mean? So something serious, and then they'll probably be able to recoup the money until that happens, until they physically have to not run the event. I think they're going to have to act like they are going to run it, just for money, because it would be very expensive to have set that up, and I completely understand why they would do that. So for me, it's likely that Adepticon itself will close. Secondly, I think FFG should possibly just back out and call it a day, because let's look at the facts. Donald Trump has said, there's 30 European countries that you're not allowed to fly from there to the USA. 30 countries, and I'm not saying that's reasonable or unreasonable. You can believe whatever you like. I don't really care, kind of thing. But essentially now you're going to have a Worlds event that's not really Worlds, because it's going to be minus 30 countries. And that's not really for the same reason as we maybe had the first Worlds round, which, by the way, Luke Cookie won that. It's an incredible player. Very, very friendly guy, by the way. If I can try and remember, his link is No Disintegrations. So, I'm not sure I'm going to remember that, but you should check him out. And, but then for the first Worlds, I'm doing this, but bear with me, and that's because essentially you could only really qualify from events in the US. So anybody outside of the US would have had to travel to US, win an event, then travel back and then win Worlds. So it was a little bit unreasonable. So people were a bit some people jokingly, but with an underlying little bit of truth, saying, was it really Worlds? And then if you've got people for example, the European winners, I think was either from Poland or Germany, I'm not 100% sure which, if they can't travel, and I'm not sure if they're in the 30 countries or not, then again, you've got maybe winners of the Europeans that can't enter it, etc. So I don't know what FFG should do. Maybe they should run a nationals with just all the same rewards, but just not call it Worlds. Or for me, I think they should just postpone it and try and run it another day. NBA has been cancelled. Football games are being played behind closed doors. Lots of measures are being taken for events not to be places where people get the virus, right? So it wouldn't be unreasonable for me, I think, for FFG themselves to back out if Adepticon don't, and maybe once one company does, there's a chain reaction, etc. So I think for my take, I think it's almost inevitable either way. I don't think it should go ahead, but whether or not it will, I don't 100% know. By the time you watch this, it may have already happened. If it does happen, I'll change the video title to be like, Adepticon cancelled, because I'm not making another one to come on and be like, it's actually been cancelled. So that's the bad news, and I said, let's just keep it in perspective. Toy soldiers, not as important as people's lives. Right? So I think we can all essentially agree with that. And yeah, FFG, as much as we all enjoy the technology of Tabletop Simulator, FFG can't even acknowledge it exists, and they don't have an alternative. So their only real alternative is to postpone and play another day. On to more favourable, likeable news, which is a very weird segue from something serious to something like more frivol. Let me get this up. So the one that we already knew about, which that is a lot more zoomed in than I anticipated. Let me see if I can very quickly fix this on the flat. We'll do it live, or you can see what's underneath. Essentially, we're seeing that these were coming out, right? We already knew that Clan Ren and Inferno Squad were essentially coming out because they were included in the leaks regarding the ARC Troopers and stuff like that, but FFG at that time didn't even want to talk about it, so and so we didn't know we can see the box, but they're exactly, I think, what people expected. So that's good, that's interesting. We already knew that was coming, but we'll have to wait and see how they actually play. And then one that which is more speculation than anything else, this was taken at Gamma, which is the Games something American Association, I don't know, it's basically a trade show. So people in the industry go and the companies talk about their products, like Games Workshop and everybody spoke about their products. And we get, apparently the Q1 here is actually not true. Obviously there won't be any Mandalorian based, well, it depends, Clan Ren, I mean, I don't want to say it's Mandalorian, but you know what I mean, from the TV show there's not going to be anything released in the next 20 days. So this, and apparently the announcement, it may have been Q3 or something like that. So, but what it does tell us is that Star Wars Legion is going to get stuff from the Mandalorian, which obviously is a bit of a, well, duh, but it's interesting to note that we'll actually hear something about that from this year. So that's good news. I still haven't seen the Mandalorian because Disney Plus isn't out for a few weeks, and then obviously I'll have to catch up before everybody spoils it for me or what have you. But that's exciting. I'm not sure what factions. I don't even know the time frame of the Mandalorian. I think it's between the Clone Wars and the original trilogy, but I don't know. Could be after the original trilogy. Somebody will definitely let me know that, by the way, because the minute I start talking about Star Wars and I get it wrong, I get corrected. It reminds me of that old phrase, like if you want to know the actual true answer, you just post the wrong answer online and somebody will correct you. So yeah, so there's some interesting things coming out. We're going to get Mandalorian announcements this year, and obviously Clan Ren and the Inferno Squad are imminently going to be announced, presumably, and we'll get to look at their cards or what have you. Maybe they'll do it on a live stream, because they might do. Now, again, generally we see announcements at like Adepticon, not just for Games Workshop, but I think FFG maybe ran something last year. You generally get a few announcements because it's a big hyped moment, so everybody wants to be involved. That's obviously not happening. So, yeah. Well, I would say it's not happening. I think that's obviously not likely to happen if it gets cancelled. If it doesn't get cancelled, I mean, even so. So yeah, I think Worlds can and should be cancelled. Or it will be cancelled and it should be cancelled. I think Adepticon are probably just clinging on to maybe a legal point where they have to be like, oh, well, we were ready to run it, but we just couldn't run it because we physically couldn't. So, but who knows? Yeah, so which is going to be, it's interesting. If they do cancel it, I'll probably just leave it there. I won't make another video or anything like that. If it goes ahead, well, obviously I'll be on here talking about the news that actually gets announced, and we'll talk about the lists and stuff like that, but we'll have to wait and see. By the way, I've started streaming every sort of Saturday night-ish. Most Saturday nights. I'm not going to say every Saturday night. I just come around, talk about Star Wars Legion, paint miniatures, do whatever I want. It's actually good fun though. I enjoy chatting to you all, so please come along, like and subscribe. Have a most beautiful day, and goodbye.